So my dad was a veterinarian growing up, always been on the ranch here. I love the ranch life and I like the medicine. Having my own herd, my clients come in and say, I want to do what you do. Or they'll see something in a magazine, what do you think of this? Figuring I've already probably played with it on my own herd. So I saw FerAppease and thought, well, this is going to be foo-foo dust, but I will try it because I know some clients are going to say, what do you think of it? Have you tried it? So I weaned my first set of calves and I did the whole herd, 100% of them. And we were working cattle and I walked out. They'd been weaned the day before. We process them the morning after we get them home. We haul them home from about 20 miles away. So after I'd done the first group of calves that I had processed before, the steers, they were all laying down or they were at the bunk. And I'm like, oh, you guys got to come out and see this. And so they all come out and they're like, oh, that's kind of cool. But we'd done the whole group, everybody was quiet, and I'm like, okay, so we need to split this baby up. And so the second time we weaned, I did my steers with the FerAppease, and I skipped the heifers. And so I was kind of monitoring. First day, the steers cleaned the bunk. The heifers, I bet they ate 25%. We had to scatter it through the bunk, fluff it up. They didn't even eat enough to refill the bunk. The next day, and I kind of watched to see the heifers definitely never settled down. They were in and out, they were circling, they didn't care to eat. The steers, they'd go to the water tank, they would drink. They didn't just leave because everybody else leave. They meandered around the pen by themselves. They weren't circling. And the appetite was so much better. And so then I saw this on the next day and I videoed that I pulled up to the bunk and all the steers were at the bunk. 6 of the heifers were at the bunk, and when he pulled up with the feed wagon, all the heifers ran to the back side of the pen who had not received the FerAppease, and the steers backed up about 12 feet, and as soon as he had moved on down the bunk, they were back at the bunk eating. And I'm like, this is really, really cool. I'm kind of curious to see what would happen if I treated the calves while we were processing them with FerAppease and see when we got to the summer pasture, whether they would be as reactive up there as if I had not used the FerAppease. And so we hauled them and the calves, they pair up better, they're more calm, they aren't circling pens when they can't find mama. They're quieter, you hardly hear the calves bawl at all, a little bit of talking. But it seems like when I have done that, when mama comes or the cows start to cry, the calves hear her and they pair up easier. I did have a client who, after using it last year, thinks everything that he buys will receive it, which I think it's a no-brainer.